Have you watched The Creator?
Of course, yes, I saw
कैसी
it.
लगी आपको?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to the next topic that I'm very, 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 very accommodating of films. Like I won't say any film is bad, which was something I want to talk about, which is why I don't like critics.
You don't like critics?
No, I think the world will be a better place without them. I mean that in the nicest way. I feel like it's like the one job that shouldn't be there. It's like, because an artist is already struggling so much with self-doubt. And I think any movie that's made is a miracle, because you have combined art and business and they don't mix inherently. And it's crazy any businessman is putting any money into a movie. It's just insane. Like you could just put it into an index fund and you would get way better returns than a film. So if a businessman is stressing an artist and the artist is spending a year and a half into a film, and it's a very famous saying, right? Nobody sets out to make a bad film. Everybody's put their heart into it. And then critics come and trash it. I'm just like, who is this helping? Because also now the audience has a voice and they're also very smart. So they can trash it. Why there has to be a professional person trashing it? And also how the algorithm works, nobody wants to hear a positive review.
Nobody wants to hear a
Positive review. It's boring. Right? So there's no room for a positive critic also. So I just feel it's so if you ask me, do you like this film? I will 99% say yes.
You know, Tarantino's last film is coming out, and it's called The Movie Critic.
Yeah.
I think they just revealed today that the main
Brad
guy.
Pitt.
Yeah. It would be very, very interesting to see.
Tarantino is awesome. Like he was, I think, a person who loved consuming films, and then he was like, "Mujhe bhi karna hai." And I have respect for anybody who's done it and then is critiquing it.
So critics they haven't done it and yet they are critiquing it. So that's
because I don't see the value you're adding if you're not done it yourself. And I'm not saying that if you're not done it yourself you have no right. Because I feel the audience has a right to criticize the film because unke liye banaya hai. But just a critic whose job is, they're also very miserable, and I don't know. I feel like it's like we have parents. We don't need critics. Like we have society. Don't need critics. So it's a very passionate thing. And I know this is the worst place to say it, but I was like, I'm gonna come on Chalchitra Talks and say we don't need critics. We need supporters. We need people encouraging young kids who's drawn something, who's painted something, who's sang something.
Yeah.
And tell them, good job, keep doing it. You'll get better at it.
But I will share some good critical pieces.
It's going to be about Raji, but I know.
No. I see like tangent pe ek do hai. There's this guy Richard Brody.
Okay.
He writes for New Yorker. Very, very solid guy. The New Yorker. And then there's this guy. He left critiquing movies. Now he has moved to book reviews. His name is A.O. Scott, New York Times. Two of the greatest film critics out there. So these two I really like.
Oh, I've not read these reviews. Like what does it add to you when you read it?
So there are some films have you seen After Sun?
No.
Oh, so there's this film which came out on Mubi last year, and Paul Mescal is there in it. It's about a father-daughter relationship and how a father abandons the daughter. मैंने पहली बार देखी, मैंने क्या है ये, मेरे लिए तो लैंड ही नहीं करी. But I knew it was a great film. It was one of the biggest films at Sundance and all these films. And of course, I couldn't appreciate it. But then I went on to read some reviews of that film, and then I understood. You just get new perspective.
So it's a positive.
Yeah, I'm talking about the.
Of course, this is great. A critic going out there and making you realize how amazing it is.
Yes.
Oh, bless your heart. I'm talking about a critic who's just.
What's your opinion of KRK?
I mean, just that question. Do we really have to answer that question?
Yes.
I think he's a good example. I don't think he's adding value.
Yeah.
Because to give you a background to the audience, just to give a quick, because you'll hear a lot of strong opinions from me, and these are just my opinions. I did a 4-year degree in painting, and I specialized in sculpture. And
wow.
During that, I was also an editor. I also shot stuff.
Wow.
So when I was 21, I edited a feature film.
Wow.
So I have done my work. I've done my labor in this. I'm not saying I'm good, but I understand what it takes to be in this very unforgiving and very illogical art form. Um, so when I come from this, and I've done music, I know I play the guitar, I compose music. I've done stand up for 13 years. So when I'm in this, and also I'm in India where we are struggling with poverty and a lot of kids are not educated, and in this environment, and come from middle class family. My dad was in the Navy, so very no connection to the industry. I shouldn't be here today. Like, if it wasn't for the democratization of art because of YouTube and blogging and the internet, I shouldn't be here. There should be some kid whose uncle is in the industry and he gets to do stand up. Stand up also was a very closed network. Comedy Store in London, Comedy Store in the US, very closed, gatekept network. That also opened up because of the internet.
Right.
So I'm coming from this background. So I've seen friends in my college who can't pay rent because they paint. And I've seen really rich friends who come from very rich families pursuing filmmaking,
Yeah.
and they think they're being brave.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of this. So I think, and also I'm so grateful to my dad and mom for being so supportive of me doing random things like sketching or drawing or making jokes or playing the guitar. So I feel the world needs like more support with art. So that's where I'm coming from. So I feel like in India especially, for 50 years, can we not bash any creative person? It'll be really nice. Just for 50 years. Like how the Indian government is not allowing Tesla to come into the country because it'll affect Tata and electric development in India. Can we just do that for artists? Like, can we just protect artists for 50 years in India? Let them do what they want to do. Support them. Just for 50 years. After that, let's level playing field. Let's criticize them. Let's talk about good writing, bad writing.